I wonder whether the scores on this one go up to 11. Yeah, it's got a Ukulele Reviews Day back with a summary video review to the review that's linked below that gives you a lot more detailed pictures and scores. Thanks as ever to those who've donated through the Patreon and the PayPal. That really does help keep this site going. And why not think about subscribing to the channel? Hit the subscribe button down there and the little bell thing. You know what to do. Okay, this is a first for this brand, not a first on the site, but a first type of ukulele for them. I don't believe they've made a solid electric before. The brand is Flight, the Slovenian company, and they have just released their rock series of a pair of ukuleles, and this is one of them. This is the Flight Pathfinder tenor electric ukulele, and it's a stunning thing to look at. Okay, now solid body electric ukulele with steel strings and pickups like a shrunk down guitar. Some people don't like these, that's fine. There's actually a massive demand for them. People I think will be screaming for me to do a comparison between this and the Risa that I reviewed. I'm not going to do that, I'm afraid, but the reason for that is I don't have the Risa here, but also the Risa is a Les Paul, and that would be better compared to the Centurion, which is the other one of the two in the rock series. Yes, I know Risa make a Telecaster style and a Strat style as well, but I've never played one, so I couldn't even do the comparison anyway. I'm digressing. Yeah, this is clearly based on the shape of a Fender Stratocaster guitar, very much so, in fact, including the body contouring, and I just absolutely love it. What this is made from is an all basswood, or as I was told recently, pronounced basswood, wooden body. That's a lightweight hardwood, value hardwood. It is used by some very high-end guitar players though, and dropped on top of that is a flamed maple veneer piece, 2 pieces, let's just deal with that top first, because I think this is absolutely beautiful. So it fades, there's the flaming and the 2 pieces, and it fades from this deeper blue through to a pale blue through to a cream. It looks like waves on a beach. That is absolutely stunning, and when it meets the back and sides you get this cream edge binding. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the back, actually. I think that blue is a bit too deep. It's a translucent blue and it shows through some of the imperfections in the wood, sort of odd little things like, where can I find it? Anyway, yeah, sort of odd little patches in the wood, which I don't think are too pretty. I think that would have been better if it was paler. Okay, the configuration, as I say, like a Stratocaster, we've got a pearly pickguard there, we've got micro saddles, very much in a Telecaster style, no whammy bar on this one, but that means you can adjust intonation to your heart's content. And we've got 2 pickups, we've got a humbucker in the bridge and a single coil at the neck position, not 3 like on a Stratocaster, but I presume that was down to space. And they're controlled tone and volume pots. I like those tone and volume pots because they didn't just use guitar parts bin, so they're shrunk down. And this is the selector switch for the pickup, so you can have either the bridge or the neck or both together. I don't like that selector switch on Fenders. They use a blade style, which is a lot more direct and smoother to use. This is a toggle. It feels a bit flimsy. I also don't like the covers on the pickups there, because I think in Fender style, I think they should have been white to match the pickguard. That's what they tend to do. I think these stand out a little bit. There we are. Is that a gripe? Don't know. The whole thing in the body is finished in a gloss. You've got a strap button down there, and there's the jack socket terminating on the lower bout. And it's actually pretty nicely done, the gloss. I can't really find any flaws with it. 1 or 2 little sort of swirl marks in it. My bigger gripe is that colour on the back contrasting with the top. I'd prefer that paler, but as I say, minor gripe. Alright, moving on. The neck is a bolt-on, and it's made from what Flight call roasted maple. It's 1 piece. I absolutely love the colour of it. It's like a darkened maple, and I really do like that. That's got a rounded neck profile there, as you'd expect, but I'm kind of glad of that, because these are steel strings, so it's naturally a narrow neck at 35mm at the nut, 26 from G to A, but you can get away with that because the strings are so thin. And it actually gives you something to hold on to play it. I find that actually really comfortable. Topped on that, the frets are not actually set directly into the maple. I don't know why, but they've dropped another piece of maple on the top, which you can probably just about make out there. Don't know why, but there we are. No problem with it. And you get 22 frets in total and 16 down to this body joint point here. Sadly, Flight, some of these edges are a bit sharp. I don't like that. Sharp fret edges. Okay. You also get, what you'll spot here is what we call a 0 fret, and that's pretty handy because that sets the height and scale length very accurately, which is not only important for short scale instruments, but particularly important when the strings go really thin like this for tuning accuracy. Basically the nut, all the job of the nut is doing is the string spacing. Moving on, headstock, kind of Fender shape, but not, with the Flight logo. That thing, it's called a string tree, and the reason you have string trees on this kind of headstock is because the headstock does not tilt back like on a lot of guitars and ukuleles. In fact, it's a straight headstock, and you need that string tree to pull the first and second strings down so that they are in line with the tuners, so that they don't do this. Now, I've got no problem with string trees, and they're on Telecasters and Stratocasters, but why did they make that one so damn big? I think that's really ugly. You can get really small string trees, which I think would look so much nicer. Flight logo there in a abalone type transfer. The tuners are unbranded sealed gears. Avoid the little white things. That's just protective labels that are in for transit. I didn't take them off because this is not my ukulele. They work all right too. Strings. It comes with extracts from a guitar set. You've got a 10 on the first string, a 13, a 17 and a 26. They're pretty light gauge actually compared to the Risa, which are quite a bit heavier than that. So they're very light guitar strings. It also comes with a really nice Flight bag and a little toolkit in there to adjust the truss rod, which you'll have seen the truss rod entry point there, and also the micro saddles and everything you want to do to adjust it, because that's one of the boons of having an electric. And the price, street price, about £222. That's really, really good. It's not the cheapest solid electric out there, but some of the really cheap solid electrics out there are pretty woeful. But it's considerably lower than the Risas, which are about £500. So this is going to appeal, because I think those Risa prices, as good as they are, do put a lot of people off. 222 quid is a price point where people may say, yeah, I'll give that a go. All right, let's get on with it. I've got to play it. I don't like playing electric ukuleles on this channel for a few reasons. Firstly, I'm not a shredder, so I can't really do this justice and sort of go off all Frank Zappa on you. Secondly, though, what makes a big difference about the way something sounds is the amplifier you're using. And there's a big difference between plugging this into a boutique tube amp and something really cheap, like a little Echo Honeytone thing. What I'm doing is I'm playing it through a small little Boss Katana, really nice little amp actually. And I think that's probably for the best, because this channel's always been about trying to show you what they sound like in your bedroom, and not everyone is a Steve Vai or a Frank Zappa, but or an Eric Clapton. So that's probably more likely what people are going to be plugging into. So I think it's probably a fair choice. But it you know, equally, effects can have a huge difference on how something sounds. So let's plug it in. I'll just get it tuned up first of all, so we are in tune. Helps if you put the tuner on, doesn't it, Baz? Bear with me. Now, as you can probably tell, there isn't a lot of acoustic tone. It's in tune. Very little acoustic tone. Let's put the amp on. I've got this on a clean channel now, so basically it's a nice enough sounding, jazzy sounding. Let's go through the selections. So this is the neck pickup, both together, and the bridge pickup, which gets really, really. Probably going to have to turn you down a bit. Now, one thing I have noticed is there's a bit of crackle on some of these knobs, which is a problem. And the sound is all right. I'm just putting it back onto the neck pickup. And if I turn the tone all the way down, it's not as airy as I would like. I found myself wanting to play it with the tone knob all the way up. And I quite like it with the tone all the way up, but with the tone all the way down, it's kind of a little bit, I don't know, not muted, but... Another problem with playing electric steel-strung ukuleles is they're not designed for those traditional ukulele licks. So that normal riff that I do, which I'm going to play, will probably sound out. And the reason for that is because you've got to have really, really light pressure when you're playing up here so that you don't bend the strings. And I find it really hard to do. And in fact, that chord sequence, that Wish I Could Shimmy Like My Sister Kate, is designed for a very sort of on-off staccato, grippy feel up here. That's not what this is designed for. If you look at people who play electric guitars, they're mainly playing about here. And even not sort of... See how it goes off? That's not a fault of the instrument. It's just not... It's meant for playing up here. Now, of course, what you're going to really want to do is you're going to probably throw some distortion on there and... You know, so you can have just hours of fun with this. Heck. Right, I really like this. It's a nice instrument. The pickup sound when you've thrown it through distortion and a load of effects is not going to be too much different from any other plug-in electric ukulele, to be perfectly honest with you. On a very clean setting, it's just not quite as airy as I would like. I've got one or two gripes. I don't like that toggle switch. I think those pickup covers should be white. I don't like the sharp edges on the frets. I'm sorry, Flight. And something about this back colour is sort of jarring with me. But the front is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love that neck. The price is, I think this is where they've been really clever, because at 222 quid, it really is at that sort of impulse purchase. I've always wanted to try an electric ukulele, and I think I will for that money. And I don't think you'll be disappointed, and I think you'll have hours of fun playing with effects and effects pedals and things like that. Yeah, I really quite like it. I can't demonstrate it on video, and anyway, you're listening to an amplifier playing into a microphone, blah, blah, blah. You know what this is. It's infinitely setupable. The setup is actually pretty good on this one, bar those sharp fret ends. I do love the look of it. It gets a good score, because it's recommended. This is the Flight Pathfinder electric tenor ukulele, available also in the Centurion, which looks like more like a Les Paul, about 222 quid. Stocks very, very, very low at the moment because of Brexit and all sorts of other things and COVID, but I know that the demand on these is huge, and I can see why. I mean, that's just a really pretty looking instrument, isn't it? A recommendation from me. I am rambling. I will see you very soon. Bye bye.